Hi, guys, and welcome to another episode of Label Breakers, where we help you see yourself as the Creator sees you and get rid of all the negativity that the world has placed on you so that you can live in purpose, on purpose, and with the one who is your purpose. So, welcome, guys. I cannot believe that we are almost to the middle of March 2025 already. It is incredible how fast time seems to be going right now. But you guys get just me tonight as we are scheduling some beautiful guests for the future. Um, we had a lot going on this past weekend. I was at a wonderful retreat with some amazing women, and we were just exploring the goodness of God in every aspect, and with some incredible um, tools that we have at our fingertips for health and bringing about healing in our bodies with food and light and sound and frequency and just each other. So it was a beautiful weekend of learning and experiencing all that he has. So in that, um, I kind of wanted to talk about tonight the intentions of our heart and seeing and living from focus. So I do have some notes here because I have some scriptures that I want to share. But for those of you who know me, I hope you know the intention of my heart is to always lead you to the wonderful three who love us and sacrificed for us and made us and created us, and knowing who they are and their true identity, their true heart, um, infects our heart. And so how we focus that and know is so important. And as we say every week, that's the intention of being a label breaker. So we can break off false labels of how we view our wonderful three and who they are, and how we view ourselves and how we view others, how others view us. So I really think um, the intention of our heart and the focus of our heart and eyes makes all the difference in how we use everything that's created around us. So, the tools of medicine, the tools of frequency, of light, of sound, of music, being in community with each other, the intention of our heart is so important. So, one of the verses that I want to share with you is Matthew 6:21, where it says, "Where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." So we live out of the focus of our hearts. What we set our hearts on shapes our experiences, our emotions, and our actions. So our hearts need to be set on, focused on the wonderful three. They are our treasure. And when we have them as our heart intention, then everything flows from their heart through our heart with our intentions. So, the power of focused intentions. Proverbs 23:7. As a man thinks in his heart, so he is. Our heart's focus determines our reality. If our hearts are focused on fear, we experience fear. If our heart is set on faith, we walk in faith. And guys, this is truly a testimony I've walked out. I've shared with you. I write about it in Label Breakers. I used to be controlled and focused on fear as my number one thing, even though I said I trusted the wonderful three. I believed in them. I was saved. My heart focus was fear, not faith. It wasn't fully faith. And as he's walked with me on the journey, my entire life, but as I've woken up more to experiencing how much he's really loves me and truly his true identity of love, um, and having that be my focused attention, it has changed everything. It doesn't mean my life has turned into a Pollyanna and everything has been wonderful. You guys have known my story. Um, I lost my dad like 6 years ago, who was my greatest person. That was Jesus to me. Um, and just walk through so many other things, and where we live on our property and our housing and with our children and sicknesses and my sickness, my health journey. It hasn't been Pollyanna, but my heart intention now is my faith and trust in him and in his goodness of who he says he is. So it switched everything of how I view and where my focus is and where my heart intention is for every single person I meet, for every single thing that comes before me, every movie, every book, every song, every walk in nature, every product, every doctor, every environment. I look through his heart now with my heart to see the intention. And it has been life changing, um, life expanding, heart expanding. So, what are you looking at? Luke 11:34. Your eye is the lamp of your body. When your eyes are healthy, your whole body is full of light. What we fix our gaze on will shape our daily life. Are you looking at problems, limitations, and labels that others have placed on you? Or are you looking at what God says? There's a lot of power in that simple thing. But guys, when your eyes are experiencing light, then your whole body experiences that light. So let the light shine in. Let the light shine in. Open the windows of your heart and let the light shine in. We can break the labels on us by redirecting our heart. Galatians 3:2. Set your mind on things above, not on earthly things. As label breakers, we shift our heart's focus from worldly labels to heavenly identity. So, guys, I just want to share a little story of how you can do little shifts or big shifts. But this one just happened a couple days ago. And so I want to just share it. And some of you may be like, what? I don't even like see the focus shift. But for me, it was a huge focus shift. So as I said, I spent the weekend with some wonderful ladies and experiencing so many amazing things. And so we are a one car family again right now. And um, as you know, transportation for a lot of you know, you've been praying for me, and it comes and it goes and it comes and it goes. So there's the thing. Where's our focus and how are we adjusting to that? And so um, right now, we're just rolling with it. And so, my honey had to drive me out to the place. It was about an hour and a half from our house. And then he had an hour drive back to work. And he left me there for 4 days and then came and picked me up on Sunday. So we were driving home on Sunday and we had stopped and seen our two youngest and had dinner with them. And it was fun and wonderful. And as we're halfway home, in the middle of part of the darkest drive home, lights started flashing on the car and it said, check tire pressure low, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh no. And thankfully, we have like a button that shows our tire pressures and shows stuff. And right, well, the passenger front tire started, it said it was at 23 psi and it's supposed to be like 40. So I was like, oh, that ain't good. But the car didn't drive any different. Like it didn't start like shaking, pulling, doing any of that. And so my honey's like, well, does it feel weird? I'm like, no. But we left it on and kept driving. And I was praying. I'm like, God, I really want to make it all the way home. And I trust that you can carry us all the way home safely. But if we can't make it all the way home, please let us at least make it to the 4-lane road. And there is a gas station there that has light. It's closed at night, but it has light. And I wasn't sure if they had air, but if they had air, and I'm like, and for those of you know I love the number 17 because it's overcoming victory. And I was like, don't let the tire pressure go below 17. So that was my heart intention. And so we're driving along, and my honey keeps asking me, what's it doing? I'm like, well, it's down to 21. And now it's down to 20. Now it's down to 19. Now it's down to 18. I was like, but it's not going to go below 17. So we keep driving. We get to the 4-lane spot. We get to the gas station. They have an air machine. And it's like, oh, good. But it only takes quarters and that's 75 cents. And guys, I don't know about you, but we don't have a lot of change in our car anymore like we used to. But we all use our cards so much and everything, we don't really have a lot of change. So I'm like digging around and I find 3 quarters, exactly 3 quarters. So we put them in, he starts pumping it up, and um air's just coming out. So he's like, pull over, we got to put on the spare. So I was like, okay. And the spare is one of those little donut ones, right? So I am I've watched him change a tire plenty of times. I've never actually done it. It's a little jack. It wasn't working real great, but it did the job. And so, I'm just standing there thanking God that my honey was with me, that he was with me coming home, that he knows how to change a tire, that we had the spare, that we made it to where it was safe and there was light and all the things that I was asking. And you know, that was my heart intention. Yes, my full heart intention was to make it all the way home, but we made it somewhere safe. My honey knew what he was doing. We did make it all the way home safe, and um, there's a whole more to the story of how God worked it out. Um, for my honey to drive the car the next day because we couldn't get new tires then. But then we got new tires yesterday on the front, so it all worked out. But my heart intention was not in fear, not in anger, not in worry, not in blame, um, but in thankfulness and in declaring that, you know, we were going to make it, and how we were going to make it and seeing it. So it changed the whole situation for me. And that is a practice that I am trying to do daily, is just to set my heart intention, especially in moments that are not beautiful. They're not beautiful in that moment, but they become beautiful in the moment because of where the heart intention is. So that's just a little example of how I set my heart intention in one area the last couple days. So number 5 on the outline, I haven't said the numbers, but this is number 5, is living from a pure heart. Matthew 5:8. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Seeing God in our lives starts with the condition of our heart. Let me read that one more time. Seeing God in our lives starts with the condition of our heart. So I know, guys, from my personal experience of my life, when I didn't think I saw God in a situation, it was because my heart was not in a good place. My heart was in a heart of fear, of worry, of stress, of blame, of offense, of a record of wrong, of being sick and being unhealthy, being in pain. Like, my heart was not in a good condition. Like, I chose to focus on my pain, or my fear, or my worry. So, how do you align your heart with God's purpose? So, first and foremost, we do it through prayer and surrender. So Psalms 51:10 says, "Create in me a pure heart, O God." And you guys know I love Psalms 41, that it is my healing inheritance psalm that he's given to me. And it says in there that you are my kind healer. You heal my body and my soul as I confess my sins to you. So that is create in me a clean heart, oh God. So we do it through prayer and we do it through surrender. And we also do it by choosing to see ourselves the way that God sees us. Romans 8:5-6 says, "The mind governed by the Spirit is life and peace." So, guys, when we learn his identity and our identity in him, that we know that we are fearfully and wonderfully made, from our delicate outsides to our intricate insides, and that his every thought is of us. Guys, you know Psalms 139 is our psalm for being a label breaker. So read it daily, believe it daily. You know, I love the Passion Translation and how he just brings it like right to your heart. And I love how it's worded in there. So read that, guys. Believe it. Choose to see yourself that way. Choose to see yourself that he chose you. He made you. His every thought is of you. Reflect on his love and his goodness just in that one psalm about the creation of you. And it will help you live from a pure heart once you start really believing it. Believing it. Or be you retreat. Be you. Believe it. So number 6 is our call to action. Where is your heart focused? What you see in your life is a reflection of what your heart is focused on. So I want to encourage you guys this week. This is my heart intention for this week. Actually, I want to do it for a full month, like through to Easter. and do this with him. What thoughts dominate your heart? Are you looking at life through a lens of past labels or through God's truth? So I want to encourage you to intentionally refocus your heart on God's promises and watch how your perspective shifts. So, like I said, read Psalms 139. Focus on that. Write that out about you. Write it out and speak it over you each day. And you guys also know I love Ephesians 3. Go write that out in the Passion, starting in verse 17 through 20, that He has your dreams. So as you do that, write out for a month or a week or a day, whatever you can start with. Write out a declaration of where you want your heart to be. Your words make your world. Your words are your focus. Your words are your heart. So write out what you're believing. I know right now, just personally in our family, there's transportation issues, there's finance issues, there's housing issues, there's job issues, there's health issues. All the issues, guys, that I'm sure all of you have too. But instead of focusing on the issue, I want to choose to focus on the promise. So I want to write out His promise to me that I don't have to worry about food or clothes or housing. Just like the birds of the field don't have to worry, and the flowers in the field don't have to worry. That I can speak a better word over my health, my children, my husband. That we can speak out the dreams of our heart. We can write them down. What do we want to do? What do we want to do with our property? Where do we want to go? What are our dreams for our family? That is what I am personally going to focus on, my heart intention this week. Write it out. Speak it with your mouth. Because keeping it just in here is a first step. But it's not enough. Because we don't always believe what comes out of here. We don't always listen. We need to speak it with our voice so that our ears hear, our heart hears, others around us hear, all creation hears. Because all creation is groaning for the sons and daughters of God to know who they are. So speak out this week with me, guys. Write it out, your heart intention, and where you're going to focus your heart and your eyes. Do it with me as an experiment. Like I said, I want to do it through to Easter. That's through my birthday and all of that. And I want to speak it with my family and see what God will do in the next 30 days. But like I said, if you can only do it for a week, do it for a day. Like, just trust Him and just be more intentional about what you're speaking, what your heart is really saying. Pay attention to it, because I believe that there's a promise there that He wants to fulfill for all of us. As the world speaks out and the world looks scary, and guys, there's so much going on politically, um, medically, food, other countries, trafficking. Like, our hearts can be heavy, our minds can be oversaturated. So take some time to turn all that off and just focus your intention on who He says He is, who He says you are, what His promises are for you, and see and speak it. And then, guys, come back on and let me know. Go in the community, join the community, go on my Facebook page, message me personally. However you want to do it, I want to be there to encourage you also, that we can encourage each other to focus our heart intention on Him and see what promises He brings about with the words that we speak. So, guys, let me pray. You pray us out tonight, and I look forward to hearing what He is going to do this next week and this next month and beyond. So, wonderful three, Papa, Yeshua, Holy Spirit, we just thank you, thank you, thank you for who you are. Thank you for showing us who you really are. Continue to open the eyes of our heart and our mind, that the scales fall off and the light pours in to the goodness of you and your love. That you never leave us or forsake us. That you're always with us. That your every thought is of us. And that you made us fearfully and wonderfully, and that our bodies are incredible, how they regenerate each cell every 4 months, our blood, each organ every 3 years, and our bone marrow every 7. Like, you have put that into us, God. And there's all kinds of factors that come against it now. But that is your design, that we can be renewed from the inside out constantly. So we thank you. We stand in that. We know that one day all will be renewed forever. All creation, all of us. But we thank you in the meantime for the tools that you've left here, for the people and the knowledge of others. That is your creation, giving us things to help us along until one day we are all fully living in what you have for us to the fullness, God. But I thank you in the meantime for your creation and your created, for you, for the relationship of you and the relationship of others, and the unity that is coming, the unity that is the unity that you promised. We thank you that your love and honor, that when we put it out, it comes back to us, God. We thank you for that. So I just thank you now for all those who join on Label Breakers, all the amazing guests we have, all those who watch, all those who are listening now or in the future times to come, that they will believe who you say you are, who you say they are, to get rid of all the negativity that we are not supposed to live in, so that we can live in joy and purpose with you, doing the dreams of our heart, the promises that you give us. I thank you, and I pray it in Jesus' name. So, guys, thank you for joining me tonight, and just letting me speak a little bit of my heart intention and sharing where I am going to be walking, and I pray that you join me on it. I will love to hear from you guys about your journey too. As always, if you want to be a guest on Label Breakers, reach out. That is what we are for, to share your story, because sharing our stories is very powerful for His glory. So, you guys know you can find out more information on labelbreakers.com. Join the community there if you want to go deeper. Or if you want to be live and in person, you can find out more at labelbreakers.com/event. And guys, we do have an event coming up in well, right around exactly 2 months, May 15th through the 18th, I believe it is. We do have a very limited space for it. It is a small, intimate gathering. So if you are interested, go there and fill out the form at labelbreakers.com/event, or message me or message Sandy Jackson on her Facebook if you know her and are connected with her too. Um, so, yeah, we would love to see you guys there. So, as you know, I love you high, deep, and wide, and we will see you guys next week.